look at how we do our day-to-day operations. It's a very, very comprehensive evaluation. We spent weeks last year compiling the documents for the University of Missouri at Kansas City to look at and to review, and there was a team of 6 individuals who did spend 2 full days. After that review, they gather the data, they take it back, and they make a determination of our strengths and weaknesses, the areas we need to work on, and give us and the board a full report on how we're doing. It is a very rigorous process, and I would welcome charter schools, and I'm speaking only as a single charter school, but I would welcome also to participate in the DESE process of the Missouri School Improvement Program. After going through both of those, there are times when I'd rather have MSIP than our UMKC review, because they're very, very rigorous and hold us very accountable. The accountability that we have from parents and from students is that we go out of business, per se, if families don't enroll and don't want to send their students to our school. We close down if we do not have the adequate number of students to keep our school open, which is very different than a traditional public school. So accountability in that end, and our parents are fairly active in holding us accountable. We have a variety of parent advisory committees that ask hard questions. Our board is comprised of 8 individuals from the community. We have 3 members of the Hellsberg family. We have a member, Tom Block, who's from H&R Block, and a variety of other community members. And so with that level of participation in community endeavors, our board holds us very accountable, because it is a reflection on them on how well our school is doing. So that's basically what our accountability system is from a school perspective.
Dr. Sneed, I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about how you, as an authorizer / sponsor, hold your schools accountable, and if you could talk a little about the rigor that may be involved with that.
I think that Sherry hit the nail on the head in terms of the fact that it's a multifaceted process, and schools are held accountable to very high standards. In New York, when schools are approved by the SUNY Board of Trustees, each school must enter into what's called an accountability plan, where we actually lay out, and it's rather prescriptive at this point, we lay out for them in terms of their academic performance, their fiscal performance, their governance performance, what the expectations will be, what the standard bars will be. In terms of academics, SUNY's bar is that for students who have been enrolled in the school for 2 or more years, that at least 75% of those students will meet proficiency or higher on state assessments in English language arts, mathematics, social studies, and science. Those are what we call the performance standards. That's what's in our law. Now, we have a strange system in that SUNY is an authorizer on equal footing with the State Board of Regents, which are the governing body for the state education department. This has never happened in New York, and I have to tell you, the Board of Regents don't like it very much that someone can challenge them. So we have this system of dual statewide authorizers, and we're very different in our orientation. We are both qualitatively and quantitatively driven in our evaluation. So the schools have the accountability plan. We also give them at the very beginning what's called the renewal benchmarks. And these are the criteria by which we evaluate schools throughout the life of their charters. So when we do annual visits to schools, it's a subset of those benchmarks that we use. And the schools know that. We tell them at the very beginning, you begin building your case for renewal now. You can't wait until your 4th year or your 5th year. It's too late. So over those years, we actually are developing a data portfolio, both quantitative and qualitative data. We have reports. We have financial reports. They do quarterlies as well as annual audits are required to be conducted. Legally, we have a general counsel on staff who is ensuring that they are in compliance with required laws, rules, and regulations. And all of this is brought together, and very similar to Sherry, when it comes to the initial renewal, we're actually in the school for 3 days, and